larger than your usual self to fit through that doorway, to open it, to be strong enough to open it and walk through. This is what is on my mind. Like, I feel a leveling up coming, and fear and worry and anxiety, just as easy as it is to be in that and experience it, what it does is it's creating more of that, right? To think small is to stay small, because all you see is this small box that you fit in. But like, break that shit open and see what is around you. To see the vastness of possibility is where magical shit happens. Like, magic doesn't fit in just one space. It's not one dimensional. Like, they call it the 5D. And we have no idea how many dimensions really exist. And so, undefine your definition is what I get, right? Like, make space for the abundant possibility that is life. Like, I've legit thought that I could be just one thing. And here I am, sometimes doing way too much, right? But like, who would have thunk it that I am an author of a poetry book that I have been working on since 5.5 years. I have been in a fellowship. I have been in some dope ass rooms that I never would have been in had I not put myself out there to be vulnerable, to be absolutely naked, as my poetry is experienced by multiple people, to believe that there is a world that exists, or to create the world that doesn't exist yet, to share my grief. I stay in awe of myself, and I feel like I should do a better job of celebrating these things. Because had you asked me 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I couldn't fathom this. I couldn't fathom having an ecosystem with poets, with healers, with entrepreneurs like me. I would still be in my little bubble and vacuum, believing that I'm on this like deserted island because I placed myself there. So, what did I release in order to get a little farther in this path? A lot of it was fear. And it's not like, I'm this fearless being and I'm never afraid. I was afraid all last week, y'all. And I'm still scared most of the time of the decisions that I'm making, and if I'm making the right ones, or if I'm doing the right thing, if I'm working hard enough, this week the universe was like, yeah, actually you're doing pretty great. Keep going and stop fucking tripping. And it's like, wow. Do not forget that you are magic, but it's not the end, y'all. Don't forget that you are capable of great things and are worthy of receiving the blessings of expanding your wings. The bigger you stretch out the wings, the more air you can catch, the further that you can fly. Because if you got them little, you'd be like, I don't know, a flamingo or something. You a big ass bird just walking around and sticking your head in the hole, and you big and can't fly. And I'm not fat shaming or size shaming or whatever, but it's like, it's unfortunate that something that majestic is unable to fly. And so I think of it as like all of that weight. I think of it as like the burdens we carry, the need to be this thing, versus just completely believing that once you like throw yourself off that branch, you're gonna fly. And if you fall, as long as you could still get up, there's another chance. And so, like, what is all the heavy shit that you've been carrying that has not belonged to you, that you can let go of? Like, take off, I'm thinking like, back lady, you gon' hurt your back. Like, I'm not a singer, y'all. I'm a frustrated singer. So I sing like in the shower, in the car real hard, or in the kitchen. But I think of bag lady, and it's like, why do we carry all of these things? The only thing it does is it shows all of the things that happen to us that they're winning. But you're here today, you're standing today, and that is enough. Like, that is enough to be worthy of having hope. And my therapist cracks at me because I'm like, yeah, hope. She's like, I remember when we started and you were like, hope? What's that? Let's use another word. Let's hit the thesaurus real quick. And so, have hope. And if hope feels intangible, like, I use serendipity. I pretended that, things happened by chance. But, like, you strike a match with friction because there's already the possibility of fire in that end. And so, like, be that. There is chance because the fire is already at the end of the match, right? But you got to create that friction of possibility by releasing that dead weight, because a match isn't 60 pounds heavy unless you're buying a lot of matches. But it's just this light stick that you tear and you just rub it across that surface, and what? It lights. And so it's like you're the energy behind whatever you desire. And it might take long as shit. Like, I'm not saying, tomorrow all of your dreams will come true. Hell, so it is. May it be so. But what are we willing to release? Not sacrifice, but release from our psyche, from our spirit, be it resentment, be it hurt, be it anger. And I'm not talking about, let me go forgive somebody. No, forgive ourselves for feeling inadequate at that time, when we now have the tools to say, hey, at that moment, I didn't have what I have now, but we're here. What are we going to do with today? So hopefully this all made sense. Today was the first time in a long time that I was able to sleep. And so, have you slept? Have you had some fun? Have you had some joy? I realized that was what I needed. An evening of joy, reciting poetry, creating art, just for the sake of creating art, being in enjoyable company. Have you given that to yourself, be it virtually, be it social distance, what have you? That replenishes the soul, and Sometimes we go so hard that we forget ourselves. But it's like a little bit of play never hurt nobody. Dead ass, that's it. So check out the sponsor. Check out the book Between Magic and Dreams. I mean, if y'all know me by now, this is the kind of carrying on that I enjoy. And it is on Audible, so you already know that I will be sitting with it and enjoying it. Black author, hello. Yes, so check out the book. And that's what I got for y'all. I mean, if you want to check out, I recently did a very quick presentation because I was double booked on Friday. But 𝘵𝘰𝘥𝘢𝘺 Projects did an Afro-Latino event, virtual event, which you can check back on the Facebook. They have their Facebook page, 𝘵𝘰𝘥𝘢 Projects, which is a grassroots poetry organization for Texas and beyond. And I was there with some pretty dope Afro-Latino poets, which I don't feel like there's enough events centering Afro-Latinos. So this was exciting and gave me joy. So check me out. I was also part of Latin Heritage Month Book Fest. So, I mean, check all of the things out. And so, if you have listened this far, let's see, should I create a hashtag? Let's create a hashtag. Hashtag Black Girl Magic. I don't know. Hit me with Black Girl Magic, y'all. On Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, wherever. And free yourself. In the words of Fantasia, look at me. In the words of Fantasia, if you don't want me, don't talk to me. When it comes to that, I say that to my burdens, my fears, my anxieties. I don't want you, right? There's a normal part, and then there's like that extra obsessive part. I am a Virgo, so hi, hello, anxiety. I'm in a constant state of meep. And so I bid you, as I bid myself, to release some of the meep. Like, we don't consistently need to be on the verge of a whole heart attack. And make some shit happen. Like, do something that scares you when it comes to your art, putting yourself out there, doing whatever it is that you feel is part of fulfilling your dreams, and see what happens. But first, release all the shit that weighs you down. Remember that you are magic. No te olvides que eres magia. Pas oublier où c'est magique. Thank you so much for listening, y'all. See you next week. I am severely behind with my interviews. It's terrible. I'm sorry. But we're lifing out here. Lifing and thriving. So, see you next week, y'all. Be safe and take care. Also, if you want to support Creatively Exposed, rate, subscribe, share with a homie, bring a homie, tell a homie. I am open to sponsorships. If you want to donate, you can hit the Cash Apps. It's the $ Liz Flow, which it's usually all in the show notes. We got Venmo at Liz Flow. Just it keeps the show going and supports your fellow creative. And yeah, also check out my crystal store Astral is